I'm one of the very few crypto influencers I think that you can talk to these days that are still bullish on the market. And I truly do think in the next 6 and 12 months, when everything actually plans out as the last 12 years have also, and everyone's like, oh, that was obvious, they're going to also be some altcoins that everyone's like, well, we should have picked those. They were the obvious ones, right? Way back in January and February of 2025, they were the ones showing the most strength. They were the ones that, given all the bullishness that we're having right now, that benefit from all of it the most. And that is what I'm making this video on. I am making this video on the most bullish altcoins, I believe, at the most bullish time in the biggest bull run, okay? And everyone seems to be bearish, but guys, wake up. People have to be bearish right now for us to have a bull run. They have to sell, they have to get flooded out of the market, they have to come back in, they have to FOMO in when we, the holders, end up selling. Otherwise, everyone's just in profit holding forever and ever. Okay, it doesn't work like that. So again, today I want to break down what altcoins I'm picking based on 4 particular new areas, new categories. I'm going to assume most of the growth comes in. And the reason why I use the word assume is because no one actually knows for certain. Don't get it twisted. No one in a speculative market like crypto, where Trump launches a coin in a day and it goes to 12 billion market cap, what the hell is going on? Okay, we can be on top of things, we can just be breathing above the surface, but there is no way we are up on a nice buoy hanging off and chilling in the sun in the lake, all right? It doesn't happen like that. So what I'm going to do today is break down these 4 very, very important narratives that are going to be massive catalysts for this bull run, the biggest of the big, and how they overlap and what altcoins overlapped in them. Given that, and given their quality altcoins, I don't see why they at least don't perform better than the average altcoin. I think, generally speaking, they'll do really well. Of course, as we should know, narratives in crypto are the first thing you should look into when you're researching. Forget the tech, forget anything else. If you're looking for gold, right, you look for gold where gold is found. You don't look for gold in the middle of nowhere where there's no way gold can even form there. Why would you start? So what we're trying to do here is look for the place where gold is, which is the narratives, the niches, AI, gaming, deep, and all the rest of it. And then from there, we can begin finding the particular facades and stuff where we go actually mining and panning for gold. And that's where we come down to the uniqueness of the project itself. The difference between a 25 and an 80x is literally what is the perceived value of the coin amongst the competition? Okay, how does it stand out? So with all that being said, before we get into it, guys, do not forget, if you find yourself enjoying this video or appreciate the work that goes into spotting these trends early, hit that like. It does help support all I do. So thank you for those of you who do that. And make sure you're subscribed as well. This way, you will simply be ahead of the herd. The intersections of AI and Deepin as a power duo, real-world assets, USA coins, and with the help of what I believe to be Coinbase's top 50 picks, I think these coins overlapping together to some degree will be ones to look out for. Okay, so I've got a whole bunch of coins on this diagram that I do believe fit this criteria. But as you'll soon see, when I break this video down and show you some of the coins in these areas, it should hopefully click in your mind that given we have a bull run here where US regulation is easing up to the point where people are actually going to likely flock into the US to run and host their businesses for crypto, and we have like new ETFs, we have, of course, massive growth in the world of tokenization and AI and Deepin, I think it's just a recipe for success. If you hold coins that aren't on this list, don't fret, don't panic. All right, you just want to do the same research I've applied to these coins for each of your coins. Is your coin in the top 50 Coinbase index? Is your coin AI or Deepin? Is your coin real world assets? And is your coin made in the US, so to speak? Is it based in the US? Now, if it hits one of these, it's a big tick. If it hits 2, massive tick. If it hits 3 or 4, mate, you're laughing. But as I break this down and as these things hopefully begin to click in your mind, don't go sell altcoins to buy the ones on this list. Like I said, you want to apply the logic here in these 4 sectors to your own coins. Maybe most of them have at least one tick. And it's okay if they don't. You might be heavy into gaming, for example. But this is a way in which you can hopefully think to yourself, okay, maybe I should have maybe some exposure to these coins or a coin that overlaps multiple of these areas just to be a little bit safe. So don't panic. Don't go do anything drastic at this point in the cycle. It is just good for those who want to diversify. Now, you pair this list with, like I said before, the meme of a coin, the uniqueness, the flavor that makes people keep coming back for more. Then you have a true moonshot coin, just like we saw with Solana versus Avalanche. Avalanche was just in a good area in the last cycle. It was a layer 1 Web3 coin. It was just interesting, okay? It was in the place where gold is found. But Solana was in the place gold is found, but this was the place in which there was the most possible gold. That was the most unique. Now, of course, the multiples here will change. They will change. Like, I don't see Solana, for example, which overlaps 3 of these 4 sectors, going to 100x. Okay, so I made a recent video on some of the multiples these coins can make. You want to watch that if you do want to look into some of these predictions themselves as well, based on data, of course, in my Pumpamentals. But at the end of the day, guys, they're just going to be quality coins for this cycle. You will likely find all of these coins, apart from, as I said, like pretty much Solana and XRP, going up around a 5x from here. I would never recommend selling at a 5x, by the way. You want to give it some more room. You never want to sell the top. And if you pair this with Grayscale's trust here and World Liberty financial projects as well, which I do think are very important areas you want to consider, I just didn't want to add it to this list because it would get very, very big and confusing, then you really do have a great coin. So Grayscale Trust, of course, you have coins that they have embedded in like indexes. They also do have individual like ETPs or ETFs for these coins. And World Liberty as well. These guys are investing in coins like Ondo. When you just overlap these things, you begin finding like outliers, right? You begin like essentially siphoning through the junk coins. So we also do have, again, the rush in the real world for the use of AI. We can see here that ChatGPT is finding really good competition here with like DeepSeek. There's a massive race in the real world now with AI and AI agents. This carries through to crypto because crypto just simply has a decentralized and, again, democratized version of this. That's why you'll find a coin like ASI or FET, I think, doing quite well because they are trying to compete with the centralized giants. With Trump pushing like $500 billion investment in AI recently alongside OpenAI, Oracle, and SoftBank, we're going to see some of this interest overlap into crypto because there's a lower barrier to entry for people to take advantage of the AI pump. NVIDIA as well, these guys having a positive quarterly report is good for the price of our assets as well because a lot of them actually have some sort of working relationship with NVIDIA. Because crypto is at a great intersection with AI, it will see growth in the next 12 months more than any other narrative, I believe, even arguably slightly more than tokenization. It just does depend. These two are neck and neck, but they are way above the competition. They are the best 2 narratives. You can see here this post from Chainlink even speaks about this guy saying that, look, if these companies implement tokenization within the business models themselves, they'll be saving a lot of money, 10 to 12% annually, just on their own revenue, all right? So they've made more profit, right? Let alone the specifically crypto use case of the fact that tokenization democratizes access to markets where people couldn't have access before, right? It lowers the barrier to entry. And what you also have is a market that's 24/7. And the great thing about tokenization is that it's unique to crypto, which is why I come to CoinMarketCap and I come across here to real world asset coins. And I'm looking at these coins and I'm going to myself, there's quality projects here, but there aren't a massive amount like there is AI coins. The AI agent coins particularly as well, they just keep flooding the market. So while I think AI could possibly be a bigger area of crypto by market cap size, if we even see a smidgen of the potential growth into real world assets in the next 12 months, these coins, the select maybe 10 to 15 that really stand out, are going to see insane growth because there just isn't this saturation in the market like with AI. We're adding Coinbase 50 index in here as well, and I'll come back to some of these tokens here in just a moment, so hang on tight, but you need to know why I've picked these. Coinbase 50 is not like CoinMarketCap 100. CoinMarketCap has a similar index as well. You can see if I come to cryptocurrencies and go cryptocurrency 100 index. I mean, don't get me wrong, this index is pretty good. If you're on this list, you're a pretty decent project, but Coinbase 50, I think, is in a whole new league. It's much more limited, and as we all know, supply and demand. Of course, the perceived value here is much more because there's less options, there's less seats in this index. Now, also World Liberty Finance. I do want to mention this as well because I showed you the post before from, I think it was Crypto Rank, that also showed that this was an important part of their particular landscape outlook. You can see here. And we can see Ondo, Chainlink, ENA, Aave, TRX, and Wrapped Bitcoin as well as ETH on this list. Now, of course, in my opinion, the four most notable altcoins are Ondo, Chainlink, ENA, and Aave. Link's a little bit higher market cap than these four, but Aave, ENA, and Ondo, they're pretty low market caps. Okay, so why is Trump effectively buying these coins? He's buying these coins because he sees what's happening next. Why is he buying ETH? Why is he buying wrapped Bitcoin and not native Bitcoin? Wrapped Bitcoin is a synthetic version of Bitcoin on Ethereum. Why is he pretty much punting on Ethereum? Well, Ethereum, of course, is the most decentralized and secure. Again, I use quotation marks because we can get in the technicals about that. I won't for this video. Network and all of crypto, I think, ready to bring on that first tokenization growth we're likely going to be seeing here in the short term. At least a massive $867 trillion Chainlink here reports we will see for early adopters alone. This is a quadrillion-dollar market, guys, and it's hard to believe. And I know we've been throwing these big numbers around in crypto long enough to kind of look at this and scoff. But I'm being serious when I do say this money is coming on chain. I think a chunk of it will come on in the next 12 months, but definitely in the next bull run, it'll be very much so tokenization coins. Luna Crush has also noticed an uptick here in interest in real-world asset coins, particularly Ondo. And we also have, of course, our biggest KOL of all, the biggest influencer pushing tokenization narrative, Larry Fink. Cynthia Loomis, of course, has put out a fair bit of tweets recently about why this year is going to be very, very good for Bitcoin and digital assets. We have amazing news recently that US-based crypto projects will have zero capital gains tax, which is why I've got Made in USA coins on this list. Trump recently signing an executive order to develop a new strategic stockpile for the United States. I believe this is regarding digital assets as well. This could be huge. And Crypto summarizes this perfectly. I love that I do have a comrade that believes the bull run is still on. This guy just sees through the BS. He's been here longer than almost anyone else, okay? This crypto executive order is not what you think. It allows banks to hold crypto, which, as we spoke about a few days ago, banks can hold crypto now. We're abolishing that. I think it's SAB 127, whatever the numbers is, where they have to mark down digital assets as liabilities. Now they do not have to anymore, but getting rid of the CBDC whole meme and narrative. Guys, we have so much bullish stuff happening here. It is honestly, I think, hard to look at these four areas in combination and think they can't do well. So like I said, Made in USA, zero tax and pro-crypto president. We have real assets, BlackRock pushing this, of course, regulatory easing in the US. We have Coinbase 50 Index. They're extremely pro-tokenization, and AI Deepen is the biggest narrative in 2025 because of the real world. So when you pair all these together and you begin plotting out some of the coins here on this list, again, I was pleasantly surprised and a little bit shocked at some of the results, okay? Some of the coins here I'm not big fans of, I'll be honest with you. But again, it's facts are facts, and that doesn't care about my feelings. So some of the ones here like Sui and Optimism are just single-handedly, made in the USA. But when you look at the coins independently, of course, Sui is also big in gaming and DeFi. So there's extra areas it hits that will help it, of course, push. It's not single-handedly not as good as, like, let's just say Algorand, for example, because it's in only one of these four sectors. It will still do very well. It could even do better than Algorand. This is why your next step of research will require you to dive into, again, the unique point of the coin. These are the narratives we're talking about here. These are the driving force for most of the demand. We have Ondo here, real-world assets and Made in the USA. Again, two ticks. That's fantastic. HBAR actually has three. It is technically an AI coin. And here's the tricky part. When looking at this list, and I do suggest you take a screenshot, when looking at this list, it's hard to look at like HBAR and say it is going to pump in AI. But given that it is pushing AI to some degree these days, over the next 3, 6, 9, or 12 months, there could be an event or a catalyst, maybe a partnership with another AI coin that now pushes it heavily into AI. So I did want to at least add it in AI because I think they are a smart company. They've got great people in leadership. There's a good chance, just like Beam, for example, a previously solely gaming coin that had recent partnerships in AI, now it gives it the AI narrative push. So it could do that as well. That's why I've added it in those three different areas. But again, interestingly enough, we have coins like Link, AVAX, Algorand, XRP, XLM, Mina. So most of the coins you would associate with like tokenization layer ones, they're in the Coinbase 50 index, they're in real assets and Made in USA, which are good ticks. Mina is a surprising one here because Mina isn't quite in real-world assets just yet, but I think where they're pushing the protocol is going to find a major use case for their technology in that department. That is just a no-brainer for them. I think that they're already starting to move in that direction. It's just what will get them the most attention. Quant, really good here in both the Coinbase 50 and real-world assets, of course. But again, most shocking to me is Injective hitting all of these, which is, again, the true power of partnerships and why I've been telling people for the longest time, we've got to give the Injective team credit here. They know how to branch out in the most possible areas. AI, DePIN, real-world assets. They're a DeFi layer 1 as well, built on Injective. They burn. They have a community name called the Ninjas. They're even in like gaming now. I mean, and AI agents. The list goes on, but it's not an Injective video I'm trying to shill here. Buy the coin, don't buy the coin. I couldn't care less. But again, apply these to your own coins, and I'd love to see what the result is in your situation. The conversation around, hey, there's too many coins in the market, not enough to go around. Guys, I want to let you all know that the coins I've mentioned to you today are all pretty much top 200 coins at the lowest. These, you can see here, these coins have about 96% of all the money invested in them. And as the market cap goes to maybe 8 or maybe up to about 10 or even $12 trillion, these coins are going to have around about $9.5 trillion invested in them. $9.5 trillion. So again, out of a 10 trillion market cap, that's 96%. So people saying that they won't do many multiples, yes, they will. They also don't all pump at the same time. If they did, the market would be a different place and my altcoin predictions would be much lower. Again, I don't recommend you kind of sell the coins you own now and buy these coins, but it is good food for thought for the mid to long term. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.